My world was once a singular, focused thing, a perfect, curved pane designed to bend light, to sharpen the fuzzy edges of reality into crisp, undeniable lines. I existed to correct a flaw in nature, to bestow clarity where there was none. Now, my own nature is flawed. I lie in a spider web of fractures, a mosaic of what I once was. The world, through me, is no longer a single image, but a thousand tiny, disjointed realities, a kaleidoscope of the mundane. The grain of the wooden floorboards repeats itself in 100 fractured shards. The sliver of light from under the front door is not a line, but a shattered constellation. I taste the dust of this forgotten corner, a fine grit that settles into my wounds. I feel the cold of the tile, a deep, indifferent chill that has become my only companion. The house is silent, but it is a loud silence. It is the silence of absence, the silence after a storm. It hums with the memory of a slammed door, the ghost of a sharp, panicked breath. Sounds from the outside world are muffled, distant, the growl of a passing car, the faint bark of a neighbor's dog. They are events in another universe. My universe is this small patch of floor, this static, broken view. Sometimes a memory of a sound echoes, not from the outside, but from within my own fractured self. The phantom chime of a doorbell, a ghost in the machine. It is the sound that preceded my undoing, the first note in a symphony of collapse. Before the cold, there was warmth, the constant, gentle pressure on the bridge of his nose, the curve of his ears. I was an extension of him, the first thing he reached for in the morning, and the last thing he set down at night. Through me, he saw the world. He saw the steam rising from his coffee, the words in his favorite books, the tired lines on his own face in the mirror, and he saw her. In the beginning, he saw her with a clarity that was almost blinding, the way her eyes would crinkle at the corners when she smiled, the specific shade of auburn in her hair when the afternoon sun hit it just right. I framed these moments for him, held them in perfect focus. I was the silent, invisible witness to their shared world. I saw their hands intertwined on the sofa, the lazy Sunday mornings, the quiet dinners where their feet would touch under the table. The dialogue was a soft murmur, a language of comfort. Did you remember to? Of course. I love you. I love you more. The words were solid, real. They had weight. Then, the focus began to shift. It was subtle at first, a slight, almost imperceptible change in the data I was processing. I would be resting on the nightstand, and the blue light of his phone would cut through the darkness, long after her breathing had settled into the slow rhythm of sleep. I saw the screen, angled away, the rapid movement of his thumbs. I saw the names I did not recognize. The dialogue fragments I captured became different, hushed, clipped phone calls in the other room. I can't talk right now. No, she's right here. Later. The words became lighter, hollowed out. His gaze, when it fell upon her, would sometimes drift, losing its sharpness. I, who was made for focus, could feel his lack of it. He would look at her, but his mind was processing another image, another voice. I saw the lie in the set of his jaw, in the tiny muscle that twitched beside his eye. I saw him delete call logs, clear browser histories. I felt the faint tremor in his hand as he typed a message he hoped she wouldn't see. The contrast was a physical ache. In my memory, there is the warmth of his face as he laughed with her, the world a bright, stable picture. Then, There is the cold sweat I felt on his brow as he stood on the balcony, whispering into his phone, the city lights blurring behind him. There was the past, where my purpose was to help him see her, and then there was the present, where my purpose became to help him not get caught. I was a tool for love, and I became an accessory to deceit. I saw him rehearse his excuses in the bathroom mirror, his eyes meeting his own reflection through me, searching for a conviction that wasn't there. It was just a work dinner. You're imagining things. Of course I love you. Each lie was a tiny hairline fracture in the world I presented to him, a world that was becoming increasingly unstable. The turning point was not a slow erosion. It was an impact. A Tuesday evening. The air was thick with a fragile peace. They had just finished dinner. A record was playing softly. He was relaxed, his guard down. He was smiling at her. A genuine smile. A ghost of the man he used to be. And then it came. The sound. The chime of the doorbell. Not a phantom this time, but a sharp, undeniable summons that sliced through the quiet. I was on his face. I saw the immediate change. The smile vanished. His body went rigid. "Are you expecting someone?" she asked, her voice casual. "No," he said, and the word was tight, brittle. He walked to the door. I walked with him. Every step was heavy. He reached the door and leaned forward, pressing his eye to the peephole, and the world I was built to clarify became too clear. The image I delivered to his retina was sharp, perfect, and utterly devastating. It was a face he knew, but one that should not have been there. It was the face of the other life, the other promise, standing on his doorstep, a sharp, ragged gasp of air. He stumbled backward, his balance gone, his carefully constructed reality imploding in a single, silent second. His head whipped to the side, and I was flung from his face. For a brief, terrifying moment, I was airborne. I saw the ceiling, the door, his horrified face, all tumbling in a chaotic spin. Then, the impact, the cold, hard tile. The world didn't go black, it shattered. A single, sharp crack that echoed the breaking of trust, of a heart, of a life. And then, a profound, ringing silence. I lie here still. The light has shifted. The sun has set. The dust motes have settled. My fractures are now filled with the shadows of evening. I have accepted my new form. I am no longer a window. I am a broken mirror, reflecting a fragmented reality back onto itself. My purpose was to provide focus, and in my final act, I did. The moment I broke on the floor was perhaps the moment he saw everything with true, terrible clarity. The lie he was living, the truth at his door, the wreckage he had made. I am the glasses he wore. I was the silent keeper of his secrets, the frame for his duplicity. And now, I am a monument to the moment it all came apart. Humans spend their lives seeking clarity, polishing their windows to the world, desperate to see. But they are terrified of what they might find. They build frames, not to see better, but to limit their view, to keep the inconvenient truths at the bay. My purpose was to correct his vision. My breaking was to correct his life. I cracked on the floor when he finally saw who was at the door.